Duty is an important civic responsibility, but some people complain that the inconvenience outweighs the benefits.
News 4 Tucson investigator Matthew Schwartz reports.
Jury entering, all rise.
10,000 Pima County residents were called to jury duty in April. 4,000 were chosen to serve. Rhonda Lear once drove downtown from Catalina when she got a jury summons. She wasn't chosen, but says it was inconvenient.
Because I came early in the morning and I ended up in the section that doesn't get to go right away. You wait through lunch until the end of the day around 4 or 5 o'clock. So yeah, it made for a long day. It wasn't very fun.
I didn't mind doing it. I mean, I would never just say I'm not going to do it. So it's kind of a duty. I look at it.
The News 4 Tucson investigators have received several complaints lately from Pima County residents about certain aspects of jury duty, including the person who sent us this email. They complain about people who go to the courthouse but are not chosen for jury duty not getting paid at all. They complain about the $12 a day that people who are chosen are paid, and they complain about parking. They do get discounted parking at the Public Works garage across the street from the courthouse. Instead of the regular rate of $8 a day, jurors pay $2 with validation, as do people with handicapped placards or decals.
I think it's intimidating for a lot of people to come downtown if they're not used to it. For other people, it's having to put their regular life on hold, childcare commitments, their job, things like that.
Pima County Assistant Jury Commissioner Sally Diggs says once people get to the courthouse, many enjoy being part of the process, but there are those who will say anything to get out of it. What are some of the most incredible excuses you've heard from somebody trying to get off of jury duty?
We did have a gentleman who was a freelance embalmer, and so he had to travel all over the state, and he gets called at a moment's notice, and there's a time frame, a window in which he can get his work done, so he was not able to serve.
The embalmer didn't serve because his job was deemed a legitimate work hardship. But one excuse that didn't work was out of this world.
There was also someone who said they'd been abducted by aliens, and so they were therefore unable to serve. So that one probably was the most creative.
But jury duty is not to be taken lightly.
Jury duty and jurors are what makes the whole system work.
Brick Stortz has been an attorney for 56 years.
When you think about it, the attorneys and the judge are nothing but functionaries of the court system. Without the jurors being there to pass judgment and make the state prove beyond a reasonable doubt the innocence or guilt of somebody in a criminal case, the whole system wouldn't work.
Jury entering, all rise.
Residents who are 75 or older can opt out of jury duty, but they certainly don't have to. And for any jurors whose trial lasts 6 days or longer, the Arizona Lengthy Trial Fund provides reimbursement for lost wages of up to $300 a day. If you have a story you'd like us to investigate, email us at investigators@kvoa.com or call 955-4444. Investigating for you, Matthew Schwartz, News 4 Tucson.